Namaskar friends, this is Dr. Sudeep Sen, founder and CEO of Uttaran etc. Today, back to you to take you forward for your preparation to get a fantastic job. So now you have prepared your CV as we discussed, and after submission of the CV, let us consider that you have got the interview call and you have maybe in between 3-4 days time for your preparation. How you can utilize that time to make you ready for this particular interview. So job interview is also a game which will be played very seriously, tactfully between you and the employer. Like any other games, both the parties put their best effort to make the win for them. Here also, in the interview, you have to do all your best things so that you also win here. But for that matter, पहले आपको गेम्स का रूल्स क्या है वो पता करना है. So let us discuss little bit fast that what is the rules you need to know before actually entering to the interview place. First thing, do not try to create any soft corner in the mind of the interviewer and feel that because of that soft corner created कि सर मैं बहुत पुअर फैमिली से हूँ, मेरा नौकरी की बहुत ज़रूरत है, सर ये नौकरी नहीं मिलेगा तो मेरा बहुत ख़राब हो जाएगा, ये वो, हाँ सर मैं तो बैंक लोन लेके पड़ा हूँ, अभी ये जॉब चाहिए. डोंट डू लाइक दैट बिकॉज एम्प्लॉयर हैज़ कम हियर to take your interview or maybe to take the interview of another 10 candidates, and his purpose is only to find out the best candidate among the all available which can deliver the maximum output which is required for that company, because employer is concerned only about his own production, his own profit, his own business, etc. So what you have to do? You have to do a good research in the available 3-4 days time, going to the employer's website, or if you can find out some other magazines or newspapers, but at least website is there for mostly all reputed companies. What they do, what kind of business they do, what is the trend into that kind of business. For example, your employer, prospective employer, is into the business of medical diagnostic. So medical diagnostic business maybe at this moment is rising very fast. So cash flows are there. So that is one trend. On the other way, for example, your employer is a four-wheeler manufacturing company, that also little bit into the luxury category. Now cash flow in the market is down, so the sales of four-wheeler into luxury category is not that promising now. So in that kind of business segment, if you are trying to give some interview, you have to study how that particular industry is going and how your particular prospective employer is doing among the other players into that, who are the competition companies. So like that way you make deep research about that employer. And not only the employer company, the nature of business into that particular vertical, whether it is automobile, whether it is a real estate or financial market or healthcare, logistics, education, online, cyber security. So depending upon the nature of business on that particular vertical, how the business scenario is going, make the research properly and settle your own opinion about that. So during the interview, if these things comes out, you are already having information and your own set mind to explain your points, explain your views and your opinions. You are not fumbling during the interview if this kind of topic is being asked or raised by the employer. So all these things you have done, that is first part you have done. Now the second part, you have to ask yourself, the question is, why me? Why me means there will be 10, 15, 20 other candidates also into that interview, and mostly everybody is somewhere close to the basic qualification and experience asked by the employer. So now out of the 10, 15 more or less similar candidates by age group, by experience, by qualification, etc., how and why employer will select you? So you yourself has to make the answer ready for this question, why me, not others? And that is the points will be your unique selling feature during the interview. If you have understood, okay, these are the points 1, 2, 3, 4 which is unique in me, and these things are fitting best for this particular job profile or maybe for the particular business environment of the employer, and you have to emphasize those points during the interview. It is like a hammering you have to do, because those are the points really can make or break the opportunity for you. So answer the questions very peacefully, sitting in your home well in advance. Why me? Why me is the only candidate to be selected? This is the full form of the question, and make your answers ready. So this is the two part. One is the whole study of the business environment, business vertical of the employer and the particular job role. And second thing is that how you can fit yourself best into the job role. So these are the two things. You make a deep study, whatever the time you get in between after receipt of your interview call and the interview date. Next rule of the games, you have to understand that during 5 minutes or 7 minutes or maximum 10 minutes of interview, or nowadays sometimes we go for online video conferences for 15-20 minutes maximum. In this particular time, both you do not know the employer, interviewer, at the same time interviewer also do not know you. So what are the things they will try to judge in that 10, 15, 20 minutes time? So many things. But at least to list out few parameters, compulsorily those things will be measured, are your confidence level, your communication skills, your analytical and problem solving skill, learning ability and growth attitude, seriousness and professional focus, your career plan, maybe short term, medium term and long term, your particular technical knowledge and domain knowledge. Suppose you are a cyber security specialist. So definitely employer will judge what is your skill and knowledge about the cyber security. So good knowledge into your particular topic or expertise subject is definitely compulsorily required. Suppose it is a position of accountant and you are MBA finance. So definitely your financial knowledge is your domain knowledge, and you have to have very good command onto your particular subject. Then your team playing ability and leadership qualities, your energy level, appearance and personality appeal, and flexibility for relocation or variable working hours, etc. So this is only few, and each of these parameters are having very important role for your success into the job profile if you are selected. And based on your success, the employing company, their success is also dependent. Because if the employees fails, all the new recruits fails to deliver the desired result, then company will be in problem. So that is the reason they will judge these points. Why these parameters we have listed? For example, your communication skills. Whatever you know, whatever knowledge you have within yourself, if you cannot express it properly, if others cannot understand that what you have inside you, then these informations, knowledges will not be fully utilized. So that is the reason communication skill is very important in the professional world, especially when now we are doing all remote works mostly. Work from home is the new normal. That means you are sitting in an isolated place in your home. Maybe your other team members and colleagues are also sitting into their home in different places. Nobody can see each other face to face, only through the video calls and etc. we are watching. We cannot now do shake hand with our colleagues. So that means it is more difficult if you are not good in proper communication, if you are not good in remote communications, telecommunications, then it will be very difficult for you to work in a virtual team. It is not a real team physically in one place now. And then you are all supposed to complete a particular task within the required accuracy, within the given time frame. So communication is the key for that engine to run smoothly. So that's the reason communication is very important. Then analytical and problem solving skill. Why it is so much important? When you are working in an organization, definitely there will be different challenges which will come from the market sometime. Sometimes it will be evolving within the organization also. But then if you are focused into the problem only, then you will remain a part with the problem only. But there will be some other person who will see the problem, but then he himself will try to find out the solution also. Maybe he will also go to his boss with the problem, but he will not go just to tell the problem to the boss. He will tell his boss, sir, this is the problem I have observed, and then I thought on the problem and I have got these two solutions in my mind. But I am not in a position to decide that which one is better. You are an experienced person, that's why I have come to you. This is the problem. I thought about these two probable solutions. Kindly help me or advise me to select about these two solutions, or maybe from your experience, if you can guide me with some third solution which is further better than my own two solutions. So like that way, that means you are not focusing into the problems only. You are also thinking and trying to contribute with your probable solutions. So that's why problem solving skill is very important. Next, you can consider learning ability and growth attitude. Why it is required? See, every 6 months, you will find some new apps are coming, some new technology is coming, and that is in every place, from household to education to business to networking, from social media. Unless you keep on learning and absorbing the new things which are coming, you will not be able to survive. After 2 years, if you don't read and learn the new things, maybe 2 years, 3 years, then your present knowledge will become obsolete at that time, and you will be also professionally a dead person. No value. But we have to survive in the professional world for 35, 40 years. So, for our own survival, we have to keep on learning all new things which is coming today or which will come tomorrow into my field of operation. Next is that team playing ability and leadership qualities. क्योंकि आज के तारीख में कोई भी काम हम लोग अकेला नहीं कर सकता है. There will be a team of few people, and mostly they will be in different places nowadays, because as such office is not there, virtual office, सबने अपनी अपनी जगह से काम कर रहे हैं. And sometimes this team may be spread in different continents. कि आपका टीम मेंबर एक तो ऑस्ट्रेलिया में बैठे हैं, एक यूके में बैठे हैं, आप तो इंडिया में बैठे हैं. In different time zones you are working, different culture, different language, maybe different age groups, different religious people. They form a team for a bigger company, and they work together for the common objective, that is the company's growth and company's business interest. So you have to have that open mind, that kind of flexibility, that kind of adjusting ability, so that you can gel with the different categories of people, different mindset, different language, different age group, but that you can deliver the company's required output without any hiccups. So that is the reason team playing ability is very important. And in the starting days, maybe you will be only a junior level team player. Over a period of time, after few years, gradually, because of your good work, you will grow in your professional career, and slowly you will take the position of team leader. You have to check and monitor the work performance of the people. You have to check the coordination level between the individual team members. You have to check the quality of the output, whatever they are giving. And you also have to anticipate if something unexpected problems are developing. So everything you have to do from a remote place. So that is now a new normal thing, that is called remote leadership. And to do all these things, you need lot of energy, enthusiasm, and self-motivation. So definitely those things also will be judged by the employers during the interview level. Your overall appearance, your personality appeal, professional outfit, it will be all judged. And we do not know nowadays what are the things is going to come to us tomorrow, after 2 years, after 5 years. So your flexibility to adjust if required, to relocate, or to accept variable working hours as required to match the market needs by the company. for the benefit of the company. So how you are flexible, or you are a rigid person, you cannot change, so then it will be difficult, because company also do not know after 2 years, after 5 years, depending upon the real need into the market, what kind of things they have to do. Things are all changing into the market very fast, so company has to also adjust something for their own survival, and all the employees within the organization also has to align into that. So flexibility is again a very important point, and if a person is not flexible, probably even if he is having very good qualification and experience, probably he will not be selected, because he is not the person to survive in the company or to contribute into the company for a long run. He is rigid person. So these are few very important points only. At least these points will be checked by the employer, and not in a very straightforward way. They will do some odd questions to you. They will create some odd scene in front of you. They will artificially and intentionally put pressure, maybe sometimes harsh words to you. They will do some dramas, some activities, but that is all to pull out your automatic reaction, and through that reactions only they will be able to judge this kind of parameters. Hope you are now getting little ideas that during that 5, 10, 15 minutes session, what are the things will be actually judged. You will be under microscope, and all these points will be judged, because every employer looks towards an employee as a long-term, versatile, flexible, honest and competent personality who is having positive attitude and ability of new learning. Follow each and every word here. Suppose you have been selected for a company, and it will take 6 months for you to take all the training and learning into that organization. So first 6 months, company is actually spending money on you without getting any return in most of the situations. After 6-8 months of working and completion of your training and preliminary probation period, etc., when you have now learned and you have reached a position that you can deliver some outputs, at that time, suppose after 1 year of joining, if you leave the job, then actually the company is at loss, because company has invested time and money on you for first 6-8 months, and the moment when you have learned and you are now in a position to deliver the things for the company, if at that time, just for your career sake, you left and joined some other company, so it is a totally waste for the company, whatever investments they have made towards you. So any company will expect the employee with a long-term view, 5 years, 10 years, that person will work in my company. So whatever I have invested for him, company is now getting the return that investment. So whatever investment company has made on you, company can expect that return of that investment for next 5-10 years. So that's why a long term is required. Why it is versatile? Because nowadays we cannot have so many people into organization. Less manpower, more work has to be delivered to survive into this competitive market. So every person, every employee is required to do multitasking, different types of tasks. That is the reason you must be a versatile person. It is not that you do only one thing, then it is difficult for your survival. Flexible. Why? as we already discussed, because we don't know what is coming to us after 2 years, after 5 years, after 10 years from the market. So unless we are flexible, unless we are in a position to bend ourselves, twist our directions and find out our own paths, then it will be very difficult for us to survive. And if we cannot survive, then our employers also will be at problem. Why it is required an honest person, even in family or in organization? We always prefer the honest people because we want ट्रस्ट कि आंखें बंद करके भी हम इस पे विश्वास कर सकते हैं। जिसके साथ हमको कंटिन्यूअसली काम करना है, उसको अगर मैं ट्रस्ट ही नहीं कर सकता हूँ, तो हाउ वी कैन वर्क विद देम? सो ऑनेस्टी इज ए कंपल्सरी थिंग. With a dishonest person, whatever may be his caliber, no company, no employer will like to work. Competent employee. Why? You might be flexible, versatile, long-termer, honest, etc. But if you do not know your function, the purpose for which basically you have recruited, then the other qualifications will not do anything good for you. Suppose you are a batsman. The basic purpose, you have to make good runs, and that also very quickly. That is the requirement for our team. Now, if you are a versatile person, flexible person, honest person, all fine, but if you cannot score good runs, then in next match, there is no chance for you into the team. So the basic competency on your core subject is definitely very important. Then positive attitude. Why? Because on daily basis when we are working, different types of challenges will come. Now a person in a team, if he is having a negative attitude, then what will happen? Any challenge comes, any odd scene comes in front of us, any unexpected issues comes to us, then that person in the team will take it into a negative views, and that negative views actually will create problems. It will not generate some solutions, because that person is having a negative attitude. He is not looking towards a solution or an opportunity. He is blocked his own mindset, his own vision up to the level of the challenge only. And then it creates a bottleneck for the whole team. So we need in our team always the people who are having a positive attitude in front of any unforeseen challenge or odd situation. His vision will show us some way out, how to go and cross that particular challenge, how to find out some opportunity into that adverse condition also. So that kind of people is required into a team. And lastly, your ability of new learning. As we discussed, things are changing very fast. So if you are not learning, then you will die. So then with a dead employee, there is no interest from the employer's point of view. Employer needs live wire employee. So live wire employee means he has to make his own survival ensured. And for that survival, you have to keep on learning about the new subjects, whatever will be evolving in and around your business or working area. So all in all, any employer will like to have an employee in this category, and for that matter, they will do all this kind of testing during your interview process, directly or indirectly. So when you are now going for the interview, make your some other type of preparation which will give you at least 10 to 20% additional edges during the interview session. Dress, take care. We will discuss in detail in the next modules, but one thumb rule, never do dress down. Dress down means for each of the organizations, there is certain pattern that every day their regular employees are following that kind of dress level. So you should maintain at least that level of dress during your interview, or maybe at least one step up. If you do not know what kind of dresses are being used into that particular environment, then you go with a safer dress like a professional suit, tie, etc. Because it is a professional dress, everywhere it will be at least at par or maybe one step up. India being a hot and humid country, and also lot of dust in most of the situation into our cities. If you travel by public transport or maybe in your two-wheelers, your dress, your hair, all these things will not be in proper place when you reach to the interview hall. And secondly, because of the sweating, you will also feel little bit tired and the glow on your face will not be there. So a tired face will not be able to create a very good first impression. So what you have to do, you have to reach the interview place preferably by half an hour in advance, and then you go to the washroom there, clean your face properly, comb your hair properly, maybe your dress also, if it has gone slightly this side up, this side down, make all setting properly, and then come back and wait into the interview waiting hall. In most of the cases, this interview waiting halls will be air conditioned. So if you sit there for 15-20 minutes in AC, slowly your muscles, your inside, everything will recover the energy which you have lost during your traveling time. Drink little water. If you are carrying some water bottle from your home, then that water should be having little amount of salt and sugar mixed, because that will recover further quickly your lost energy. So this way, if you take care of your dress, hair, even sometimes shoe, on the public transport you never know whether the shoe polish will be properly in perfect place or not. So reaching to the interview hall, going to the washroom, you do all these settings properly. Now once you enter to the interview hall, your first impression will be promising, energetic, smiling and appealing also. So this is some very brief tips you can say to make the very good first impression. One more aspect is that is the smell factor. What is smell factor? Cigarette, pan, gutka, onion, chewing gum, these kind of items are having little bit strong odor, and you do not know the taste of the employers or the interviewers. So if you have taken any of this kind of items just before the interview or maybe 10-15 minutes in advance, then that odor will be carried with you when you have entered the interview room. If your employer or interviewer don't like that smell, which is having a very high possibilities, then your first impression will be almost like a zero or maybe little bit negative. Same way, do not use any strong perfume, because perfume is such a thing that everybody is having his or her own liking or disliking. A very good athlete or maybe a player or maybe a singer, anybody who are actually doing some performance, they do practice on daily basis, hours after hours, and slowly they have reached to that perfection. And on that day of performance, when people are watching to him, he performs fantastically. Similarly, for you also, you will get maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes to impress the employers, interviewers. So it is not that only that 5 or 10 minutes. Maybe you have to also work 10 months on each of the parameters what we are discussing in these modules, and you have to develop your skills in each of the areas so perfectly that it looks that everything you are doing, it is quite natural and this is obvious what you are doing. It happens after a lot of practice. It happens. Very simple example you can take it. If you are knowing say cycling, maybe आज से 5 साल पहले 10 साल पहले जब आपको साइकिल चलाना नहीं आता था, उस टाइम पे when you started learning how to ride a cycle, initially it was very difficult. आपने साइकिल में बैठा, चलाने का कोशिश किया तो क्या होगा, आपने गिर गया, बैलेंस नहीं है, आपने क्या किया, फिर दोबारा ट्राई किया, सेकेंड टाइम भी आप चलाने का कोशिश किया, तब गिर गया. वही होता है, सबका होता है. ऐसे 3 बार 4 बार 5 बार आप चढ़ने का कोशिश कर रहा है, चलाने का कोशिश कर रहा है, लेकिन बैलेंस नहीं है, आप गिर रहा है. बट ऐसे ही करते करते धीरे धीरे ना हो सकता है कि 5-7 दिन के बाद आपका वो कंट्रोल आ जाएगा एंड देन आप साइकिल चलाने लगेंगे. अभी जब आप रास्ते पे चला रहा है पहला तो आपका फुल अटेंशन साइकिल की तरफ ही रहेगा. आप दूसरा किसी में ध्यान नहीं देंगे उस टाइम पे, बिकॉज यू आर राइडिंग साइकिल ऑन द रोड. चारों तरफ से गाड़ी आ रहा है, पब्लिक भी जा रहा है, आपका फुल अटेंशन रहेगा, आप चलाते रहेंगे. बट और 1 महीना 2 महीना 6 महीने के बाद क्या होगा, हर रोज साइकिल चलाते चलाते आपका इतना ही वो कंफर्ट लेवल पे आ जाएगा. अभी शायद आप मोबाइल पे बात करते करते भी साइकिल चला रहा है वही रोड से, क्योंकि आपका बॉडी एंड माइंड में वो पूरा सिंक्रोनाइज हो गया कि साइकिल चलाने के लिए क्या क्या करना पड़ता है. अभी आपका फुल अटेंशन नहीं भी है तो ऑटोमेटिक हो रहा है. अब सही जगह पे आके ऑटोमेटिक आपका लेफ्ट टर्न ले रहा है, ऑटोमेटिक राइट टर्न ले रहा है. आपका घर के सामने आप पहुंच गया तो ऑटोमेटिक आपने ब्रेक भी खींच लिया, साइकिल खड़ा हो गया, तो ये ऑटोमेटिक चल रहा है. शायद आपका फुल अटेंशन उसमें है नहीं, फिर भी हो रहा है. यहाँ पे भी वही होगा. इनिशियल डेज में जो हम लोग डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, ये आप करने के लिए जाएंगे तो शायद आपका मिस्टेक्स हो जाएगा. कोई चिंता का बात नहीं है. आप सिर्फ साइकिल चलाने का स्टोरी को याद रखिए. आपको मिस्टेक्स हो जाएगा, आप दोबारा ट्राई कीजिए, फिर मिस्टेक्स होगा, फिर ट्राई कीजिए, फिर मिस्टेक्स होगा, फिर ट्राई कीजिए. तो धीरे धीरे आप देखना 5 7 8 बार ऐसा करने के बाद आपको थोड़ा बहुत तो ग्रिप आ गया, लेकिन फिर भी आपको फुल अटेंशन रख के फिर वो काम करना पड़ रहा है. तो उस हिसाब से फिर आगे चलते रहिए और देखना आज से 2 3 4 महीने के बाद जब आप ये बार बार प्रैक्टिस किया है तो ये सारे के सारे चीज आपका बॉडी एंड माइंड पे वो ऑटोमेटिकली परमानेंट स्टम्पिंग हो गया सबका. अभी क्या है कि वो ऑटोमेटिक हो रहा है, आपको सोच समझ के करने का जरूरत नहीं है. तो ये हर चीज आप थोड़ा थोड़ा करके आज से ही प्रैक्टिस करना चालू कर दीजिए, सो दैट जिस दिन आप इंटरव्यू के लिए जा रहे हो आपके लिए ये सब चीज क्वाइट नॉर्मल है. नथिंग स्पेशल यू आर डूइंग फॉर द इंटरव्यू पर्पस. एक मजा की बात बता रहा हूं. हम लोग जो कलकत्ता में हैं, बंगालीज, हम लोगों को जो मैरिज होता है, मैरिज में the boy wears dhoti, and for most of the boys dhoti he wears for the first time in his life during the marriage day only. अभी क्या होता है, हम लोग तो नॉर्मली बचपन से पैंट ही पहनते हैं, We are comfortable into pant because that is a always normal for us. धोती कभी तो पहना ही नहीं. अभी मैरिज के दिन जिस दिन सारे लोगों को फोकस हमारे ऊपर ही रहेगा, उसी दिन मैं फर्स्ट टाइम धोती पहना है. एंड थ्रू आउट दैट फंक्शन ऑफ मैरिज you will find the boy is feeling very uncomfortable with the dhoti. He is not in a position to manage the dhoti. क्या हो गया, वो पहला दिन उसको पहना और उसका मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट डे में ही वो पहना. That is the mistake he has done, and that's why the entire session he feels uncomfortable, odd. लेकिन अगर मैं जब जानता ही हूं कि मेरे को मैरिज की डे में धोती पहनना है, तो स्मार्ट गाई क्या करेगा, वो पहले 4-5 दिन घर पे प्रैक्टिस की तरफ ना धोती पहन के अगर थोड़ा बहुत आधा घंटा ना घर के अंदर वो वॉकिंग किया, ये किया, वो किया, देन ड्यूरिंग दैट फंक्शन डे, मैरिज डे, जब वो धोती पहनेगा और पब्लिक उसकी तरफ पूरा अटेंशन से देखेगा, फोटो खींचेगा, उसका कोई अनकंफर्टेबल फीलिंग्स नहीं होगा. बिकॉज वो धोती पहन के कैसे चलना पड़ता है, धोती को कैसे मैनेज करना पड़ता है, he has done that practice previously before entering to the main scene. 5-6 दिन उसको कर लिया है. So he has become comfortable into that. Same thing, अगर आपको सूट टाई पहन के घर पे या लोकल एरियाज में चलने का आदत अगर नहीं है और वो इंटरव्यू का दिन में ही आप पहले बार सूट टाई पहन के जा रहा है, तो आप वहाँ पे जाके अनकंफर्टेबल फील करेंगे. बेटर आप अपने घर पे प्रैक्टिस के हिसाब से सूट टाई पहन के आधा घंटा करके थोड़ा सा वॉकिंग का, चलने का, लोगों के सामने खड़ा होने का, अपने रिलेटिव्स जो घर पे है या क्लोज फ्रेंड्स है, उन लोगों को सामने एटलीस्ट खड़ा होने का हैबिट कर लीजिए. अदरवाइज आपको इंटरव्यू के दिन पे खुद को बहुत अनकंफर्टेबल लगेगा. To make yourself comfortable during the interview sessions, you have to do all these things well in advance as a part of your practice. जैसे हम लोग मैथ्स की एग्जाम के लिए सेम प्रॉब्लम सम्स को घर पे बिफोर द एग्जाम 5 बार 10 बार सॉल्व करते थे, सो दैट ड्यूरिंग द एग्जाम हॉल हमको वो मैथ्स, वो पर्टिकुलर प्रॉब्लम सम एकदम इजी लगे, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. तो प्रैक्टिस करते रहिए और हम लोग आते हैं विद द नेक्स्ट मॉड्यूल. टिल दैट पीरियड, डू एज मच एज प्रैक्टिस यू कैन डू. बिकम फुल्ली कॉन्फिडेंट that you can do all these things very comfortably, and then again join me in the next module. Thank you very much.